When I'm low and I'm down, I'm going to help somebody, because that's the way to do it. One of the greatest things a person can do who is depressed or discouraged or feeling sorry for themselves in whatever way is to go help somebody in any way. And it pulls you out every single time.
As we were leaving this interview, Jeff sat down on the porch and started saying some inspirational and motivational things. And I said, just give me a moment. Let me pull out the camera and let's just shoot this while I just sat there in this picturesque setting. So today I sit down with Cowboy pastor Jeff Smith and talk on his front porch of his ranch. Today's video, as always, was powered by Huel. Find out more with the link in the description. I'll speak a little bit more later on in the video. Let's dive into it.
We have quite a large male audience.
Wow.
I think a lot of them do feel lost at the moment. Have you seen that people, these guys having to handle these mixed messages that they're receiving? I know we spoke a little bit about it.
I hear it talked about. Guys, I come to our church and stuff. I guess I just speak so straight at church, to these guys. I've got them sitting right there. We sit in a big circle. It's like an AA circle, and started out, it was just right around this corner of the house under that pecan tree where I tied the horses, where we started. It's 3 or 4 guys. And now we'll have 25, 30 guys show up on Wednesday night. And then on the once a month we meet, we'll have 40 guys get together. So when we do, I talk straight to what a man is, a Christian man is, and how important it is for them to step up and be there, for their kids. Look, you relate a lot to me on the fact that your dad wasn't there. And that really rings big in my mind. And the morals of a dad, if you are there, the morals of a dad ought to be like, if you want to make a difference in this world, make a difference in your children. Pour your life into them and let them become what is decent and upright and make a better world for us to live in. Because we can do that. I mean, you say, I can never change the world. You change that kid right there. You show that child how to live. You'll make a difference. That man will make a difference in the whole family if he just learned to do that every day. It's consistency. Isn't that a good word? To do that every day. I want to be somebody that my children, when I'm gone, they'll be what I wanted to be, And so the only way to do it is be that in front of them. And they will mimic you. But if I come home and I'm a lazy, deadbeat dad, I'm going to raise a bunch of lazy, deadbeat children or angry children, or both.
Have you ever had somebody stood in front of you and you've had to deliver the stand up straight with your shoulders back? Like, have you ever had to have that message with someone, or is that just not your style of delivery for people?
If I'm tracking with you, what you're saying is like a guy shakes hands. Is that what you're talking about? And he shakes real soft. Is that
Yeah. Have you ever brought anybody up on it?
Oh yeah. But lovingly as I possibly can. Yeah, I can think of a couple of different guys go to shake their hand, and they're just as, how guys do that. Where I come from, you don't do that. And so because I care about the young man, he's doing it because that's just the way he was. It's his world. When I reach out to shake his hand, he does that. I put my hand on his shoulder, slap him on the back. I say, okay, man, you're a young man. Shake my hand. Come on, show me a handshake. And I just laugh with him and joke with him, and he'll give it to me a little more. And then through the years, I've watched them, and they start grabbing hold. And they realize this is the way. Look, if daddy can't teach you, I'll be there to teach you. That's what the devil says. That's what the world says. That's what I say. I'm going to teach men how to be men. And it's not just who's the strongest arm wrestler. It's not just who has the strongest grip. It's who has that inner fortitude of saying, I want to be somebody that makes a difference in this world. And the first place I'm going to start is in my family. And I need, even before I'm married, before I have a wife, I want to learn to be the kind of man that I should be as a husband and as a dad. We want to teach young men, I'm talking about boys, my grandsons. When I'm talking to them, I'm trying to help them to see this is how you raise your children. This is how you live your life. This is how you treat your wife. Well, how do I teach that? Go over and say, here's how you do it? No, just walk up to her and give my wife a big old kiss and a hug and say, baby, you're beautiful today. My kids see that, and that relates into their future. What happens if a dad goes in and slaps his wife and kicks his kids? That kid's gonna grow up, slap his wife and kick his kids, or not ever get married. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. So I want to teach them a better way. Pile all the kids in bed with me at night whenever we get ready to go to bed, and we all go pile into bed together, and one of them leads us in singing, the other leads us in prayer, the other leads us in scripture. What does that do? The rest of their life, they're going to have those things in their heart. And that's the way we raise our children. And then they go off to their bed and go to sleep.
Is there a set of like cliche things in terms of like shaking a firm handshake, look somebody in the eye, like some things that you could go for?
Oh yeah, I think if you're going to talk to somebody, look them in the eye and talk to them, and you treat them with kindness, but you stand tall and firm and be the man, and that is real. I mean, if somebody's shuffling around talking to me and not looking me in the eye, I'm saying, what's going on inside this guy, So I don't try to make them feel bad. I don't want nobody to feel bad. But I teach my kids, look them in the eye and speak to them. There ain't no doubt. That's the way to do it.
I'm curious as to, we're in this wonderful setting. How would you advise people who, maybe are in a city setting or somewhere that's a bit hustly and bustly and there's a lot of things going off to find peace? Because this is peaceful up here. You sat on the porch right now.
Mm. Oh, listen, I remember telling my wife when we first built this porch, I cut every one of those spindles myself. And when we built this porch, I told my wife, I said, I look forward to the day that we can sit here on this porch and watch our grandchildren play in the yard. We're doing it. We're living it. We're living the dream, right? And but here's the thing: I never had much money. I never made a lot of money, but everything I got, I poured out right here. And this is, to me, this is riches. And it's not money. But you need call it your sanctuary, a place you get alone, just get alone with God and just experience the joy of what He has provided. Sit and look at the whole, the system, the ecosystem He's provided. Watch the birds fly in their nest. Watch them bring worms to their babies, Just watch life. It feeds you. There's studies on that if you go out into the wilderness, it's good for your health. There's studies on that, I know. And that's why I'm so healthy. I'm kidding. I'm not all that healthy.
That's another thing. We've walked around the land today. You've said that that's something that you make a part of your routine. Like you'll do that frequently. And you seem very, very active. Is that important to people?
Yeah, it is to me. I'm gonna tell you something. I get up in the mornings. Sometimes I'll eat breakfast right here. Sometimes I'll grab it all up together and go up there, and I'll eat breakfast in my cabin and sit there, and that's where I shoot my videos, and sometimes I shoot them here. It depends on what I'm doing. And but I edit my videos, do stuff up there. It's amazing. Up there, I have just as good internet up there as I have down here with Wi-Fi, and I ain't got nothing up there. No Wi-Fi, nothing. It's just the 5G, I guess it is. It's just as good. Thank you, Lord. Because it could have been different. But I just enjoy going up there and being alone. There's something about being alone. And I think it's very important for everybody to take time to be alone. Just, if it's 2 hours, be alone. And take time to think and to meditate. Because for me, that meditation time is me analyzing things like, who is God? What is He doing in my life? What has He done? How can I bless Him? I just think through stuff and I take one thought to the next thought, and I just really think about it. How many people living their life ain't thinking? They punch a clock every single day. They go into work. They do what they do. They come home. They wait for the weekend, get stoned, and they go back to do the same thing next week. And I'm saying, you're not thinking. This most valuable resource that you have, your soul, and you're letting it just waste. So get alone by yourself, and if you have to rent a spot, go up in the woods and just kick back and watch the squirrel run by, and there's such a great joy in that.
Something I think peace, finding that peace helps with is, for a lot of people, is like the anxiety, stress, depression, those kinds of things. Is that something that, you've had to help, some of the, would you call it the congregation? Was it a parish or?
Friends.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Like, is it something you've had to help people with, especially with like COVID and like people being locked up inside and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, it was a tough time. Boy, it was tough. Yeah, depression's heavy for people, and it's debilitating to people. And I do think that it's so complex to talk about depression because there's so many different directions it comes from. But a great relief of depression in my world is truly getting alone and thinking about the one who created you and thinking about what is my purpose in this life? How should I live? And realizing it doesn't matter where I'm at in life or what I've ever done wrong or how bad I've been. It doesn't matter. If I get in touch with God every day and start talking to him, number one, he forgives and he heals and he'll fix the problem. And I can't tell you how many people I know who have committed suicide because they felt like there was no hope. I would rather face death than face tomorrow. And I'm saying there's more than tomorrow. There's a life, a rich, wonderful life out there. But if you spend time thinking on the negative side of it and you keep focusing on, I'm not this or I'm not that or I've done this wrong or I've done it wrong, just sit back and think about, my God, his love for me is so rich. And this God, who is he? A great thought when you're by yourself. Who are you, God? Who are you? And then think about how that tree was created, how this grass works, how the animals work, how the carbon monoxide works with the oxygen, and all this stuff happens, and how he's so fine-tuned the universe. And he says, I love you so much, he gave his son. And so you start focusing on that and you find yourself, instead of going down in the depths of despair, going into the heights of glory with God and saying, why would you love me? Why would you even give me the time of day? And you give me your son. I ain't got nothing, but I want to give you my whole life. And so what it does is it drags you out of the depths of despair. I'll tell you something else that drags you out of the depths of despair. When you're depressed, one of the greatest things a person can do who is depressed or discouraged or feeling sorry for themselves in whatever way is to go help somebody in any way. I mean, there's so many things you can do to help. Pick up the phone and call an elderly person and say, hey, I was just thinking about you today. How you getting along? And they may talk to you for 30 minutes before you get a chance to speak again. But you just let them talk and you just talk to them. And what that does for them is huge. I talked to a guy the other day just like that. And he said, Jeff, you'll never know how much it meant that you gave me a call today. And he'll never know how much it meant that I was able to talk with him. You see that? That's real. When you think about the benevolence of God, it's easy to be benevolent to others and never expect nothing back in return, as we were saying a while ago. Isn't that right?
I love that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such I think a real practical piece of advice as well. Like it really is, you know, if you're struggling, give yourself some purpose by helping somebody else.
It's exactly right. And it pulls you out every single time. When I'm low and I'm down, I'm going to help somebody because that's the way to do it. When I get discouraged, I start thinking bad about myself or something. I don't spend much time there, I just want you to know. Because years ago, I remember getting so discouraged about some things. I had a real hard season of life years ago. As the church I was at, some things went wrong, and I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. But then I had a group of people there that was causing some trouble, and Satan sends people into the church just like God does, and those people were just giving me a fit. I got so discouraged during that time. And I just said, I will not stay in this spot in discouragement. And so I just kept on doing what I do and doing it more, and God pulled me through it. But the key to it is, if you can bless others, God will bless you. You remember what I said earlier? I said that if you give to the poor, you're loaning to God. And of course, that's the Bible verse. Now it goes, I go on to say, and he pays great dividends, you know. But if I'm discouraged and I give to somebody that's needy, God gives to me. I believe that. And I think it's important.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Today's video was powered by Huel. This is Huel Black Edition with 26 vitamins and minerals and 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs. I've been drinking this stuff on all my shoots across North Carolina, across Georgia, across LA and New York and Germany. And it's been an absolute game changer in my life. So if you want to find out more about Huel, head to the link in the description. It has transformed everything. But don't just take my word for it. You know, people like the hardest geezer who ran the entire length of Africa also consume Huel. Find out more below. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.